What's up everybody? Here I have this Asus Zenpad Z8S and I'm going to show you how I removed the battery and the motherboard. To get inside we have to remove the screen. At the bottom next to the charge port are two Torx screws. They are size T5. Let's get them out. I'm using a suction tool to lift the screen. Place the tool near the bottom and pull up. As you pull up, insert a plastic tool under the frame of the screen and lift the screen up. Now you can use a plastic card to pop all the clips around the screen frame. There are two ribbon cables attached to the screen. Rest the screen face down close to the ribbon connectors. On the back of the screen, use a plastic tool to lift this latch and this other latch. And slide the ribbon cables out. Over the battery runs the charge port cable and it connects to the underside of the motherboard. We have to lift the motherboard to disconnect this cable. Then the battery is held down by adhesive strips with black pull tabs. You can see one here and the other is under here. So we'll have to remove these components to get access to this black tab. The motherboard is held in by large, flat Phillips head screws. You'll also have to remove the silver screws holding in some components up here and a small black screw holding down the rear-facing camera. Then you have some ribbon cables to unlatch. But before touching anything inside, we need to disconnect the battery to prevent electrical shorts. Pry the battery connector up. Remove the screws holding down these components at the top and the rear camera. Lift the latch for the rear camera cable and remove the camera. Lift the latch for the SD card reader and front-facing camera. I pried the front camera up and pulled it out. Pull the SD card cable out. Lift this latch for the power and volume buttons and slide the cable out. Now remove the large flat Phillips head screws holding down the motherboard. Lift the motherboard up. Then pull it back to reveal the charge port cable and the Wi-Fi antennas. Pry the charge port cable out, pull out the Wi-Fi cables, and set the motherboard aside. We have to carefully lift this adhesive tape in order to disconnect this ribbon cable. A tab on the cable is stuck on the tape. Pull back the black tape to reveal the little tab. Separate the tab from the tape. Lift the latch and disconnect the cable. Now remove these four screws and group them together to make it easier to put this area back together. Lift the speaker by prying it up here and here. The Wi-Fi cables are connected here, so bend this part out of the way and reveal the black adhesive tab that's attached to the battery. These adhesive strips are annoying. Don't lift them straight up at a 90-degree angle. You'll need to pull them straight out. Here goes one. Here's the other. And now the battery comes out easily. Alright, let's go over a few tips for putting everything back together. You can buy these pull tab types of adhesive strips to hold down the batteries, or just use double-sided tape. Rest the motherboard next to the tablet with the copper shield facing up. Connect your Wi-Fi wires from this position. Now bring the motherboard over to connect the charge port ribbon cable. Then rest the motherboard down. Just make sure that these two ribbon cables don't get stuck under the motherboard. With your rear camera in place, put the top components back in first. I believe they're antennas. Then put the metal plate on the rear camera and insert the silver screws and the little black screw. Before connecting the screen cables and battery back in, take a look and ensure all your ribbon cables and latches are secured and all your screws are also secured. When you open a device, the battery should be the first thing to disconnect. When you put everything back together, it should be the last item to reconnect. And last, connect your tablet to a charger before powering it back on. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.